everyone. Welcome to the show. We're back another week, another show. It's the second show of 2025.
Ooh.
Right?
Feels good, yeah.
Okay. So I want to make sure. Time drifts, and you're not sure what day it is or what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know. But we're here. We're back. We got a lot to talk about. I'm sure Brian has a list of things we're going to cover today.
Yes.
But as always, we start the show with, how you doing, Brian?
Mark, I'm doing good because I'm getting ready for East of the River Comic Book and Collectible Show, February 23rd.
It's not even February yet.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh, God.
I thought we had a month off of this.
It's going to be 2 floors, vendors upstairs and downstairs at the American Legion Hall on Enfield Street, Enfield, Connecticut. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I have a slew of new toys I've been going through.
Did Scott give you some cash or something?
I'm going through 1980s G.I. Joes, like vehicles and figures. It is nuts.
Yeah.
And, little known fact, I had no idea, a lot of the stuff was made in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Yes. Yeah, there was a Hasbro factory there for a long time.
Yeah. Crazy to see that.
Still is.
Still there.
But cause you usually see made in China.
Yeah.
And I used to see on the back of these things,
Yeah,
made in Rhode
Hasbro,
Island.
that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
That was their big selling point during that time.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I have.
These are like the really good ones that have like the rubber band in the middle so you can pull the guys apart.
These are early 80s.
Early 80s, yeah, it does. If you could tell.
Yes, they got the rubber band.
If you pull the torso and the legs.
Yeah, I remember
they're
the
connected with a rubber band, then that's like means they're older.
But those are the worst
And also
ones.
I can tell originals too.
Those break easy because the rubber band.
Well, no,
breaks.
there's like a rubber, not really a rubber band. It's like rubber. It's like a.
Isn't it a black rubber
it's a
band thing?
Black rubber band, but it's not like
It's
a
like a
rubber
gasket.
band.
Yeah.
It's like a gasket. Yeah.
So some of the stuff I was looking at, like a 1983 truck transport with the cover,
Ooh,
really mint condition.
nice.
The
I had
G.I.
that.
Joe Cobra night landing raft boat.
I don't know if I had that.
The hovercraft.
I had the hovercraft. I had the tiger boat.
The tiger
Remember that?
boat. They had the
It was like yellow
yes.
with the black like tiger stripes on it.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
I had that. I had the battle tank, the Cobra tank.
yes.
It was black and it had like the tread,
Yep.
but it had like plastic wheels on the bottom because the treads didn't work.
Yeah, none of the treads work. It's just
No, the only one that
plastic
did
wheels.
was the G.I. Joe
I was gonna say,
green
we had the
army
green
tank
one.
that had batteries in the bottom of it. And that actually
Oh.
worked. It had like the actual like treads and everything, and the gun on the front extended out.
Yeah, and also had a turret on the
It
top.
had a turret on the top too. That you
Oh,
could put a guy in the
yes.
top, and then you could put a guy in the bottom.
Okay, so the coolest thing that I have in this collection,
My friend Paul had the dome.
the dome.
Yeah.
Speaking,
Didn't he also have the battleship?
He also had the aircraft carrier.
the 1992.
He was an only child, so that's
The
why he had all
1992
those
G.I.
things.
Joe Commander Center headquarters,
Ooh.
and it like folds out, and it
Yes.
has like a tower up top.
Yes, I remember that.
Now,
He had that as well.
if all the parts, if I can have all the parts, this thing is worth like
That's a
$300.
That's a big, yeah,
out of the box.
yeah,
So this is the kind of stuff I've been going through.
yeah.
I got more. This is the stuff I'll be bringing to the next 3 shows.
Ooh, I might need to come over and check out stuff before you go to the shows.
Okay.
Might need to
Well, Mark,
parcel out some memories.
You
Mark,
got
remember we had the Star Wars, the Ewok Village?
I had the Ewok Village.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Ewok.
Had the nets and
Yes.
everything?
There's still parts of it in my parents' basement.
Yes.
I mean, if you have the whole thing,
There's a
it's
bunch
worth
of it.
a
Probably
pretty
is.
penny.
It's just not like together. It's just all like
What are you waiting for? You got to get in there. Get that
it's
stuff.
stuff's like in a tubs. It's just like I haven't gone through it all. And it's just there's a bunch of stuff down there.
Well, you
Like
got-
that tank's down there.
You got to get
Not
that
together. Like I don't know
Right,
where the
right,
cover
right.
for the battery part is lost to the world or whatever.
Right, right. Because you played with them.
Yeah, because we were kids and we actually played with stuff, and we never got batteries, so we had to like take the stuff out because we're not gonna,
Parts of
because
Castle
it made noises,
Grayskull are
and my
down
mom
there,
got
too.
sick of the noises.
Remember, we have parts of Castle Grayskull down there, too.
Oh.
No, Castle Grayskull got sold, and this is the one thing till her passing, I told Mom this is the one thing I never would forgive her for. That I was like 14, 15 years old, and I was at that age where it was like, oh, I don't want my kid stuff anymore.
Right. We all go through that.
So I sold at a tag sale that my mom had. She let me do it, and afterwards she told me I shouldn't have sold them. And I'm like, well, why'd you do it? Tell me to sell them then. I sold my Atari 2600 with all the games and everything.
Oh.
which I wish I had back. And then she had a kid at the daycare she was working at who house had a fire or something.
Mm-hmm.
So in her infinite wisdom, she decided he was a He-Man fan, and he was younger, but He-Man had still like second coming of He-Man kind of was still going on. So she boxed up my Castle Grayskull and all my He-Man figures and just gave them to this kid without even asking me about it while I was in college.
But he had a house fire, so that's very nice of her.
Not my fault. I said to her when I got home, she told me about it. I'm like, what do you mean just gave my stuff away? She's like, well, you're not going to do anything with it. I'm like,
but it's yours.
It's mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to box up your stuff and give it to the mother. How about that? How would you feel about that? Box up your pots and pans and give them to her.
Well, just think it went to a good cause.
Yeah, probably the kid. Hopefully the kid played with them and didn't just like.
How old is he?
I don't like 8, 9.
All right, because the way I thought in my head, he would be 8 or 9, not like a teenager or something.
No, yeah.
But maybe that made him happy. Think about it that way. Think about it that way.
Still, in
I get it.
The back of my head, there's that little voice being like, I can't believe you got rid of my stuff.
I know. Parents do the wildest things, man.
I know my dad used to tell a story how his mother gave away all of his baseball cards while he was after he moved out, just gave them away to some kid in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he had like really good baseball cards.
Yeah.
Like, big names and stuff.
I mean, that's gotta suck when a parent does that without the kid's knowledge. It does suck.
No,
it does
yeah.
suck. When we moved from Thompsonville to Green Manor, I had a drawer filled of McDonald's toys, like the old McDonald's toys, but they were still in the wrapper.
Yes.
Never opened.
Yeah.
And I collected them. And I don't know why. I just kept them in this drawer. I was kind of getting old for them, but the problem was I was like, I'll just keep them.
Yeah.
We moved. I put them in a box.
Yeah.
I went out to go ride my bike.
Yeah.
I come home. The box is by the sandbox in my backyard, wide open, and my brother's ripping them open and playing them. And my mom's like, what? And I'm like, those were mine. Then fast forward. In my 20s,
it's the curse of the oldest child, I think, is what it is. It's like, your siblings could just play with them. My mom used to do it to me all the time.
Those things were worth a pretty penny briefly. Like, they had a moment.
One of my favorite G.I. Joe guys was a Viper Commando. I had a Return of the Jedi lunchbox that had a thermos in it.
Yeah.
Younger brother, who will remain nameless at this point, was mad about something and decided to jam the Viper Commando into
the thermos.
To this day, in my parents' cabin underneath the sink, is a Return of the Jedi lunchbox with a thermos with a Viper Commando still stuck inside it.
Well, now
because he shoved it to its shoulders, and now it's like wedged in there, and you can't get them back out unless you break them.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to come to the terms of breaking him to get him out of the thermos.
That's hilarious. Well, now it's worth even more money. It's a rarity.
The sticker's all worn off.
Yeah, on the box, but the thermos is still in there.
It's a rarity now.
Yeah,
it's a special edition.
Yeah,
I was a crazy child. I put stuff in VCRs.
You know what?
With silly putty and VCRs. He took apart my parents' VCR. Just took it apart.
The worst was
because.
My parents used to have little pewter figurines that they would have around the VCR.
And he'd put them inside the VCR and then walk away.
I was going to say, Josh, did you put a porn in there and got stuck, so you took the VCR apart to get it out?
No, he was a brilliant kid who got a subscription to a adult magazine, Playboy. And then had it delivered to the house under an assumed name.
Yeah, but it's in a black bag. I had that delivered to my house when I was
and it showed up randomly during like a family get-together. The mailman.
I was there.
That was a good one.
Yeah. It's in a black bag, but everybody knows.
And everyone knows what it is because a big Playboy sticker on the front of it, so everyone knows what it is.
No, it's a completely black bag.
No, this is like a special edition one. So it had like the red Playboy. I remember the red Playboy logo. I think it was my high school graduation or random college graduation.
I know. I was at your house when it got delivered.
Yeah, it might have someone's graduation or something, but yeah. So
I remember we were picking on Josh.
Yeah, we still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, to this day. And never looked at another mag again.
You know what my brothers did, Josh? I have a bin. I'm going through old toys. I'm going through all these old toys, and my brother, Anthony, he decided when he was younger he would melt his toys.
Oh, we did that too.
That was Josh. Josh was a melter.
Some of these figures. Okay, I have.
Oh yeah.
This is a Deadpool and Wolverine This is like early on figures.
Yeah.
The Wolverine's missing the claws in the Deadpool.
Bandai.
These are old.
He's
and
like
I looked them up.
Bandai,
They're worth
Bandai toys.
They're worth a decent amount of money.
Yeah. Or
Well-
Playmates, maybe? I can't remember one of the two.
But
Probably
so
Bandai.
there's other figures from that Cable and whatnot. Their heads are all smooth, and then like random wrestlers, their faces are melted,
Yeah.
their hands are melted. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I throw them away. They're worthless.
Yeah.
Like
Brian,
but the
but
Deadpool I still
also,
have in Wolverine.
This is coming from the guy who, how many G.I. Joes got eaten by the lawnmower?
Well, my
because
dad would
you-
just run them over. He wouldn't even like,
Well,
pay
because
attention.
someone would play war in the backyard with the G.I. Joes and then come back inside.
Well, no, they got launched in an explosion, and then I couldn't find them, and then my dad would run in to find them and go on.
And then how many Hot Wheels did we drop out of a second-story window over at the Sea League's house? And
Oh, yeah, well, that was different. Those were like the bad ones.
Remember when G.I. Joe came out with the parachute? The
Oh, yeah.
plastic
Oh,
parachute?
yes.
We used to go on the third-story floor of this
Yeah.
apartment, and we would drop
Yeah.
everything with
Yeah.
this stupid parachute.
Brian,
Yeah.
Oh, my
Brian,
God.
Yeah.
we got the neighbors to light them off with bottle rockets
Yeah.
to send them
off
into the
all
air.
time to
Oh,
bottle
and then
rockets,
have
and
them
then they'd fall from that. Yeah.
No, nice.
Oh, yeah, we were inventive. I was inventive back in the
Yeah,
day.
we used to do
Yeah.
long drives. We used to have our figures. We'd take a long piece of string and we would throw the figure outside the
Like you're
car
fishing?
window, and it would just be blah, 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 and we'd be laughing our asses off. And my parents were like, "What is so funny?" And we're just watching our figure survive this
Yeah.
road trip.
You're
Just
that kid
bouncing.
from Toy Story.
Yeah, and then we would,
Like Spike from Toy
we
Story.
would bring it back in.
Well, gee, Mark,
dumb.
the Carlos, they had the station wagon with the window that looked out
Yeah.
the back.
You get the seat that
And we
face
would throw
backwards.
stuff out and all
You
that
guys
stuff.
would. I, on the other hand, was not doing that.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Mr. Goody
No.
Two-Shoes didn't do nothing.
The only thing I
No,
ever did
we didn't
crazy like
dig it.
that was my dad had a 1976 Chevy pickup truck with a huge cab, and there was like a space between the
Yeah.
cab and the front of the truck.
Mm.
It had camper windows, and so there was only enough room. This is when Kylie was very little, and we'd go up to New Hampshire, and back then there wasn't the rules there are now for like taking care of your children
Also, it's
and
New
making sure they
Hampshire.
don't do anything stupid like this. My dad got 2 milk crates and bungee corded them in the back of the pickup truck
Yeah.
inside the cap, and that was where Josh and I would sit on the way up to New Hampshire down
Oh.
91.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad and Kylie would be in the car
Front
seat
seat.
Yeah.
in the front.
She wasn't even in a car seat. She was
Yeah.
just in the middle.
Well, I mean, I think they had a car seat, but not like a real car seat. Back then, they were not like,
Yeah. Things were different.
as crazy as they are
it
now.
was like a booster seat.
Yeah, it was like a booster seat. So what we'd do is we'd be going down the highway, and if Josh got on my nerves too much, I would just reach over and undo his bungee cord on his milk crate, and I'd just go sliding on the car. You're like, Dad.
Well, you sons of bitches, cut that off.
Your
You're
dad would be
going to
like-
hurt somebody.
Yeah. So
With the
we'd stop
dog.
in the middle of the
With the
highway. My
dog
dad
in the
would get
back.
out and yell at us, yell at me for done. I'm like, it just came loose. I don't know what happened.
With the dog in the back running around like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
with our dog like running around chasing him in the back. Yeah,
That's funny.
things you
Oh,
did back in the day.
Yeah,
you
I know.
Hey, back then, New Hampshire, still New Hampshire doesn't have backseat seatbelt laws.
Yeah.
So,
So there you go. But anyways, you got the East of the River coming,
Brings back memories.
and you got toys you're selling.
Yeah, I got a lot of toys this time. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for
that's
that.
cool. Those G.I. Joe toys, they come up randomly. Like, people find a bunch of them.
Yeah,
That and Transformers are like the two.
I still have more Transformers.
Mm.
And I have a lot of other things too that I'm.
There's certain Transformers though that I would really look for if I was looking for Transformers again, but it's like the randomest ones. So
Well,
like I found
mean,
one at, I think it was when we first went to the North Haven toy show way back when. I found the 38. It was Paul Newman's Nissan race car. They had turned into a Transformer for like one of the shows, as he was like a guest appearance.
Yeah,
And I have that one still. That was like one of the only ones I have.
that's pretty cool.
But it had like the thing where you'd put your thumb on the top and it would tell you what
Yeah,
site it was on.
Yeah, the hologram.
Yeah, the color form or
Oh
whatever.
my god, the heat thing. Yeah,
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember when they had the heat shirts? Bad
Yes.
idea
Yeah.
for teenagers.
Yeah.
Because like your pits would turn different colors.
Well, then you could have like, the thought was you'd put people's hands on it.
Yes.
That would do it.
But-
Not that your armpits would be a different color than the rest of your body.
You start sweating.
Yeah, not the best idea.
Yeah.
But besides that show, also Andrew's show, The Toy Show, is also happening in February.
No, it's happening in March.
Oh, March.
It happens
That's right.
in March.
Yeah.
And that we'll be talking about that too, but that's going to be, I will have majority of the toys at that one.
Yeah.
But
a guy from Ninja Turtles is going to be there.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of folks at that one.
And Matt C. Ryan.
And Matt.
Hometown hero, Matt C. Ryan.
C. Ryan. The C
Matt C.
stands
Ryan.
for Conan.
C stands for comics.
Champion. So we will talk more about Andrew's
Cuckoo
show.
for Cocoa Puffs.
But the first show of the year is East of the River in Enfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
February 23rd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. But before all that, if you're looking for something to do at the end of the month, two big things going on at the end of the month this month. Cliff's Con, happening on the last Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
In Plainville. Awesome show if you're looking for random comics. It's a great comic dive show, as I call it.
Yeah.
So you can go and find all the random comics. But also at the Big E, the last weekend of the month, is the Amherst Train Show. I think it's like 4 buildings this year.
Are you going to be
model
there?
trains. I'll be there all weekend working the booth for the Tron Museum.
Wow.
So, yeah. It's a great time. Like, I took Josh 3 years ago now.
I remember we had
And
a
it's just
whole
like
show about it.
It's something just to experience just once. If you're kind of sort of into trains or ever were into trains as a kid, it'll blow your mind, the amount of stuff that's there. And just walking around, it's just crazy.
Or if you're trains curious.
Trains curious, yes, you can do that as well. That's terrible. That was terrible. That was awful.
If you're trains curious.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you might be.
I apologize. I apologize to the community
You
out
might
there.
be curious about trains.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trains curious.
That was like the worst dad joke I've heard in a long time. That was terrible. I feel bad just knowing you at this point.
Waka waka waka.
I want you to say that to some of our friends and see how that goes for you.
Are you curious about trains? Go this week. I mean, come on. What am I saying? You're making it a little bit different than I am.
You could become a
saying.
member at the Tron Museum, and then you could
Yeah.
not be curious anymore.
There you go. The trolley
You go
museum.
full trains.
Full train. You go full trains.
You never go full trains. You go trolley.
You go trolley.
You don't go full
You
trains.
start with trolley, then you move.
Work
to
your way up the trains. Yeah.
Because
You're gonna-
I think trolley is the where you got to go to figure out if you're really into trains.
God, here you go. This is terrible. I do not want to be part of this conversation anymore.
This is hilarious. Anyway,
I feel awkward.
so we have a trains
The train show.
expo.
Yes, the train show.
Train
It's called
show.
Amherst Train Show. It's like a society. It's like the Amherst Model Train Society train show. God.
Oh my god.
Hugh, this is the thing that sets you off. Of all things.
All right, we gotta move on. I'm gonna start crying. I'm laughing. All right,
You should come to the train show, Brian.
I
You
might
have a good time.
I might. I am train curious.
You should probably tell Allison about that before you decide to just dive into it.
Well, she'll say, "Did you go to you check out the trolleys first?" And I used to go to the trolleys when I was younger. So I might be all for the.
You're
treats.
digging your own hole in this one. I'm not jumping in with it. You're on your own. This is all you.
I'm just talking trolleys and trains.
Anything that anyone has any complaints or anything to talk about, please send all self-addressed stamped envelopes to courtesy of Brian Kazaska.
Are you team trolley or team trains? That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's move on. On that note,
I'm not jumping in this hole with you.
all right,
No matter how much you try to jump me in this hole with you, I'm not doing it.
Mark, did you watch anything to talk about? I got a few shows. And
God, you got me like
movie?
you're setting me up to fail here, and I'm not
Why?
biting it. Did you watch anything lately?
Do you want me to go
Watch the
first?
train show.
Do you want me to go first?
No, it's fine. I had to get out of my system.
All right.
Actually, it was just football all weekend because it's Super Wild Card weekend was this past weekend. So there's a game Friday night, bunch on Saturday,
Oh,
2 on
'cause
Saturday,
Super Bowl's
3
coming
on.
up,
Yeah,
huh?
it
I thought
is,
they
yeah.
dropped the
3 on
Super-
Sunday and then 1 last night. So
Didn't they drop the Super Wild Card? Now this is just Wild Card weekend.
It is, but I refuse to.
Oh, you're
that.
taking the Pat McAfee approach?
I'm the Pat McAfee stance, so it is super because it's multiple games.
Super.
It's more than
college.
2 days of games. It's a super weekend.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
that is.
There's also college football, too.
College football, yes, happens coming up on the 20th.
But like last week, it was Thursday and Friday, wasn't
big
it?
inauguration day bowl game.
Nice.
But yeah, so watch that. Didn't really catch much else. I've really been diving into. I dove into season 3 of Traders. It's on the Peacock. If you're looking for something to watch, I would suggest checking it out. It's an amazing show. Alan Cumming is a fantastic host. This is a show that started out in New Zealand. Actually started out in Norway, and then like spread out from there. Like there's been a New Zealand version, there's been a UK version, and then the US has taken it. Every other version has just been like regular reality, like just regular folk competing in this. But in the US, they've kicked it up a notch, and it's like
It's on an island.
No, it's like C-list. The reality celebrities
Oh boy.
are on it, so
Oh,
it
gee.
makes it even more interesting.
Gary Busey.
No, like Johnny Bananas from like the Real World, like Real World people, Housewives people,
Oh, I don't know any.
The
of those
Bachelor,
people.
Bachelorette people.
I don't know any of those people.
Like Nikki Bella's on this season.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, one of the Bella twins from WWE.
Oh, from what? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So they kind of like they've had you know some of the people.
Okay. Like I'll know who's, but I recognize that person.
Yeah. Like last year, I think it was Johnny Bananas and then CT from Road Rules. I think back in the day, he used to do all the challenge stuff. So it's a lot of folks like that.
Interesting. I see the thing on there.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty. It's intense because it's like they, the host, and for the U.S. version, Alan Cumming, picks 3 people to be the traders, and their job is to, like you have to get to whoever. If a trader gets to the end of the game, they win all the money. But if 2 faithful get to the end of the game, these are the people who are not the traders, then they split the money. So the whole thing is like, if you're faithful, you're trying to find
The trader.
the traders.
So if you call them out, do they
But
go?
the traders are trying to like make everyone believe that they're faithful, and they don't know. No one knows who's a faithful, who's a traitor.
Right.
But they all like have to do missions together, and then like every
It's like Clue. You don't know who the
yes,
murderer is.
exactly. And then there's like you vote people out and hope that you catch a traitor. But like you can like vote somebody who isn't a traitor, and at the end they have to like reveal who they are.
Oh, sounds interesting.
So it is. It's like there's a lot of intrigue to it, and it's like a lot of things. Then at the end of every night of the game, the traitors murder somebody. Like they just give them a letter saying you've been murdered.
It's like Clue, yeah.
Yeah, like you've been murdered.
Murder mystery.
Yes, exactly. So then that's how you like eliminate people. Is like those are the ways you eliminate people.
Interesting.
So it's very, very interesting. It's a lot of, and it's of course because it's like reality folk on the U.S. version.
Yeah.
It makes it even more interesting because these aren't the brain surgeons of our society. So it's always fun to watch them stumble around each other trying to figure things out and stuff.
Yeah. Who thinks they're the most cleverest?
Yes,
to get out?
exactly. Yeah, you have like all these Survivor people and Big Brother folk and stuff like that.
A guy survived Survivor.
Yeah,
I could win this.
Yeah, exactly.
I just looked it up. It's a lot of Real Housewives, Real World, Drew Paul's Drag Race,
Yes.
Survivor.
It's a bunch of random folks,
Yeah.
but it's like this
Big
year
Brother,
it's a lot
tons
more.
of Big Brother people.
Last season was really good, and it won an Emmy for best competition show, I think. But this season's even more intense. They have thrown a lot of weird things at people at the cast. So they have like all these different things. Like in the UK version, 2 years ago, in their like debut episode of the series, they all show up. All these people show up. It's all across like regular folk from across England. It's like Survivor show. You have to apply for it and everything.
Yeah.
And like they show up and they have everyone line up, and the host is like, all right, line up in the who thinks is the most capable of winning this and who's the least capable of winning this. And they're like all line up, and then they're like, she's like, okay, you lined up, you think you're the least like able to win this, you're eliminated. Like not even before they even start the show, just kicked the person off the show.
I hate when shows do that. They always do that in the beginning.
Yeah, so that was like the big thing. So at the beginning of this past season, they like did the same thing again. Everyone's like, I don't want to be the last person. And then they're like, no, we're not doing that this year. Everyone's able to come in. And then they did something different to eliminate people. Yeah, so
they always do that.
But it's crazy. It's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's worth the.
One of the people is Zac Efron's brother.
Zac Efron's brother is in it for some reason. Because he was on a reality show.
I guess
Down to Earth or something.
Yeah, Zac Efron did a reality show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know it existed. But yeah, it's random. There's a lot of random stuff in it, but it's just.
And a random
it's good.
aristocrat.
The UK version was even better. I like the UK version a little bit more than the US version because it's more, like local, like regular folk.
Right.
But it's really cool. They all live in like, supposedly like are staying in this castle in Scotland. But it's like they all like have to go to a hotel. Really, but it's crazy. Like I've dove into like how they actually produce it and everything. It's pretty interesting.
Nice.
But they do a good job.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Peacock,
yes,
I watch. Allison, we just finished a show on the Peacock.
Yeah.
That was nominated for an Emmy, The Day of the Jackal,
which
I believe is a remake.
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just finished it. We watched the whole thing over the weekend. It is 10 episodes. About an hour each. And that's the reason why I started Raw last night late. Because we watched the final 2 episodes last night.
I was confused when I got the text message of, oh, I just started. I'm like, it's an hour late. What you
I didn't even watch it till it was done because I got out of here late because we had that poetry show last night.
You know what's great about
and then
watching
Raw? I didn't
Raw?
get to home till and then we watched it in the football game, and then I watched it at
no
11
commercials,
o'clock.
and it's shorter.
Last night was no commercials. Not as many commercials at all.
I had no
It was
commercials
awesome.
because I was behind by an hour.
Same.
None.
Same.
I didn't see.
Oh, see, I had 3-minute commercials.
Yeah, we didn't have that. When you watch it live, you do, but when you watch it afterwards,
No
you don't.
commercials.
All you have is their commercials.
Yep, and I fast forward those.
Yeah,
I just hit.
But like they're like little like
for the shop
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But yeah,
And
no, it was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, that's what it was too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, so much better.
I'm never watching it live again.
I'm only watching it live because I'm
not
not
2.5
working.
hours long, but it was just like the 3-minute commercials weren't bad because it literally popped up in the corner.
Like
saying,
Josh said, I was
3
telling you on
minutes
the way
ads.
here,
I'm
it's like they have like a
sweet, I
timer
could go-
on it, so it
Yeah,
tells you how long
I
it
always
is.
see the
So
time. Yeah, I see the timer.
I didn't notice that the
But
first.
that's the reason I was like, oh great, I can go get a drink and everything and be back, and I don't have to worry about
Let's
missing
put
something.
a pin because we're going to talk about
Oh, I know.
Money on
Just-
Raw. That's our thing today. But anyway, The Day of the Jackal. It's on Peacock. We finished it. It's really good. Well acted. It's based. It's a redone of an old show, a British show.
Of course.
But Eddie Redmayne plays the protagonist.
America has like new ideas.
But it's really well done. It's 10 episodes, an hour each. They're like it gets into a lot. I felt like I was like, oh my god, this show is like it's a cat and mouse thriller. He's basically a hitman, and he kills people for money, and
That's hitmen do.
antics ensue.
Yes.
So I highly recommend if you're looking for something that's like really thriller.
If you're looking for
cat
something
mouse.
to fill that spot before Severance starts this Friday, you can jump into that.
It's good.
Or if you have to wait to watch Severance until the end of the season,
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
you can do that too.
Yeah. I did see Nosferatu in theater. Fantastic.
Yeah. Claire's on the fence of like she wants to see it, but she thinks it's going to be way too scary for her to watch. Because she's like, that director is just known for.
Well, this is the first time he's done a
Super
movie
scary
that's
things.
not based on his own material.
Yeah.
This is a remake of
the classic movie,
Nosferatu, which is a ripoff of Dracula.
Yes.
The
Bram Stoker's.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. Germany.
Yes.
They basically made their own.
Yes.
This is like their version of Dracula because it's pretty much beat for beat the same story.
Yes.
But they created their own creature. They called it Nosferatu.
Yes.
And this is a remake of that movie, and it is creepy.
Yeah.
It is very well done. It is like Bill Skarsgård plays Nosferatu.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
It's like the director has a thing for Skarsgårds.
Yes, a lot of them appear in his movies.
Norseman.
Yes, Norseman. I still have to watch The Lighthouse. It's the only one I need to
Claire
watch.
said she tried watching that one and she couldn't get through it.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. She said it was a rough. rough watch.
But Norseman was really good.
Yes.
But anyway, Nosferatu, fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it.
I love the original one. That was like one of my only horror movies. Like one of the first horror movies I got into.
I remember when
I was younger.
I watched the first time I saw the original was with Bob's class.
Yes. Same.
Bob's Berkowitz.
Yeah.
Film, because it's a classic film.
Yes.
And that I don't remember much.
Was it Bob? I had the other teacher when I had mine. Remember, what's his name?
Fred.
Sokol.
Not Sokol. It was the other guy. There was another guy that was that little triumvirate there but he retired like after I left.
Fred, we had a class where we watched classic movies, so it was probably Fred's class, not
Yeah.
Bob's
I was
class.
about to say,
Yeah.
it would have to be
did talk
Sokol
about
because
Bob
he
did
did.
history of music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Fred
Bob
did
talk
both. He
about
did history of
classic
music and history of film.
Yeah. But when I was there was this other teacher. I can't remember his name to save my life. But he was like a film critic for like the Register, or not the Register, whatever, the Republican
It could have been before
in
my
Springfield.
time.
Yeah. But he was like older. He had retired already from Republican. But he was like super into things. Like we watched Kurosawa. We watched the Samurai 17 or
Yes, 17. The Seventh
Seventh
Samurai.
Samurai. We watched
Chinatown. We watched Chinatown.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of stuff. I remember there used to be, like, when I was there, Bob was teaching it, and then there was this other teacher that would teach it. And when I was going to pick classes, I was TAing for Bob at the time, and he's like, I know you love movies. He's like, I teach this class, but I think you should do it with the other teacher because I think you'd get more out of it.
Yeah.
Because he'd actually make you like write a film review of every movie.
Yes, we did the same thing.
Yeah.
This was for Fred. We had to go to the theater. We watched one. We had to write a review. We had to review every movie we watched.
Yes.
The theme about the movie, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched too many movies that the teacher told me to stop doing reviews. He's like, you could stop now. Like for the year, he's like, yes, you're done.
And now we do a podcast.
You can just show up and watch movies.
Um,
And then I married a woman who started doing their original first job was doing restaurant reviews.
there you go.
Yeah. So there you go.
Also, we can jump into this now. Creature Commandos finished their the first season this past Thursday. I figured this could be our second review of the year.
And with a thud.
I don't think so. I really enjoyed it. Well, we can just give what we think and a number because we don't have to go too deep onto this. But I can go first real quick. I can just say, overall, I really love the soundtrack. I really love the characters. I think the strength of this show was the backstories.
Yeah.
I think the Weasel especially brought me to tears. Even the monster, Frankenstein. Well, Frankenstein is the doctor. The monster, David
Frankenstein's
Harbour.
monster.
Yeah, his story with that little Russian lady was just like, oh my god, this is like gut-wrenching. Even the final episode, which was fantastic. I'm ready for season 2. I'm just gonna give you my number, and I'll let you give your review. I give it a 9. It would be a 10 if the main story was just as good as it was okay.
It was ho-hum.
But the backstories is where the show shined.
Yes.
It really was about getting to know these characters. And I was more invested in the backstories and learning about these characters, and I had more emotional reaction to those. The main story was just okay. So I give it a 9.
Main story was just there. That's all it was. It wasn't really anything other than just a plot device to connect these characters together. That's all it was.
Well, yeah. All right, I'll let you go. What's your thought? What's your number?
I liked the show when it started. I was really into it. I enjoyed it immensely. I feel like it kind of sputtered a little bit in the middle. Like it kind of started to fall into I'm going to say the DC trope, but kind of fell into the DC trope of like just ho-hum. Like you were saying, the main story is kind of lame. It really doesn't have any.
For me, it wasn't lame, but it wasn't as strong.
Exactly. It's compared to the backstories that he was weaving for the characters to then just like, I don't want to say like murked out the first somewhat villain that was coming to take out the princess, and then like the princess's story was just kind of.
It was okay. It was good.
All right, it wasn't like anything.
Right.
It doesn't really like
the Weasel story.
Yes, the
stuck with me
backstories
more than anything.
seemed to, and even like the robot's story.
Yeah.
Was great.
And you know he's not dead. He's back.
Yes. Yeah.
You're like the robot's not going to die.
Oh, I know, but the way they did it,
yes,
like he was going to be gone.
But then you see
and
him
then
at
like
the end.
Rick Flag's character.
He's still
like,
alive.
I know. I'm saying,
yeah.
But like telling those backstories and connecting the characters that way. But like you said, the main story of the show kind of like just ambled along. It wasn't really like even the Dr. Phosphorus backstory was really well done.
Yeah. I thought they all were.
So look, to me, it was like that's what they were doing was just, hey, we're just trying to get these characters out there and just have them do something so that way they're all connected.
I want to see more.
But, I mean, I'll watch it, but I mean, I'm not like addicted to it. It's not like it's the best thing I've seen in a while.
Okay.
I mean, it's not terrible either. So I'll give it an 8 just to like.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like, passing.
Well, passing would be like a 6.
No.
A 5 is middle of the road.
No. We've had this conversation multiple times. I don't know why you have to keep doing this, but
that's how I see it.
if you got a
anyway.
60 in school, you're not
failed.
passing.
Oh, but an 8 is not a 60. That'd be a 7.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like
As you say,
7's
there's
like
passing, but
7,
good.
8 is like passing.
Okay,
Like you're
all
just
right.
you're doing enough effort, but you're not like putting forth a lot of effort.
Okay.
Like a 9, 10, that means you're putting forth like extra effort.
Yeah, I really liked it. I honestly, I think it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But, all right. So that's.
I mean, it didn't like make me excited for any other DC stuff that's coming. It wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to see what else James Gunn's doing. It wasn't like that.
What do you mean?
With it being like his first official thing out the box.
Well, he's done a lot of stuff though.
No, but his first official thing
this
is
is the first-
as
This is a
runner
soft-
of the DC universe.
This is This is kind of like a soft,
Soft
launch.
restart.
soft launch of the new
Yes.
DC.
Yeah, but it was kind of like you'd think there'd be a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more.
I thought it was great. So I mean, I guess it's just.
I mean,
different
I'm also
opinions.
like, I don't know if it's just. I mean, it's probably like an unjust
Criticism.
comparison. Like I compare every like ensemble things he does to Guardians, and I thought the Guardians story was better than this story was.
But this is different because these are just these are not heroes at all. These are bad people.
No, I know, but I mean,
he doesn't.
not
he
all
doesn't-
not all bad people.
He doesn't pretend they're good people at all,
like
which
Fish
I liked.
Girl's not terrible.
She was the only one, but you know, spoiler
Yeah.
alert,
Yeah,
things happen.
yeah,
She gets pushed
yes,
to do something she
Yes.
didn't want to do.
exactly.
And she paid for it.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, this is also animated. This is very different. It's an animated show compared to a movie or like a lot.
The animation's cool though. I
like-
like the animation style's
like
nice.
Peacemaker, fantastic first season.
Yeah.
Very excited for.
But that
season
wasn't
2.
him officially being in charge.
Yeah,
That
but
was
he
him
wrote it
just
and
doing
he
it.
wrote it
Yeah, he
just
just
like
did
he
it.
wrote it
Yeah.
this one. So.
Yeah. Again, Peacemaker's writing wasn't. If you dive into it, the story isn't fantastic.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, the animation was great.
Yeah.
I just kind of like at this point, the ultra violence, we've already seen it with Invincible, The Boys. But
Peacemaker.
in Peacemaker, but the violence was cool, like some of the moments.
Well, in cartoons, it's different too.
Yeah.
It's different violence. It's
Yeah.
not like
But
like
it
the violence in Vox Machina. It's not like as like it doesn't like even in Invincible. It's like cartoon
But see, that's
violence.
over. That's like I'm saying, Invincible and The Boys is over the top violence,
Yes,
and this
but the
had
boys
that.
is like real like live action.
yeah. But
But
I'm
I'm
just saying
talking
in
like
general.
cartoon wise, it's not as doesn't really as shocking.
But it's none of it's shocking anymore.
No, I mean
It's
like in
hard
the
to get
boys, some of
shocked
it's
now.
kind of like ooh.
I know what they're gonna do with the
Yeah.
last season of The
Yeah,
Boys.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so Creature Commando season 1 in the books.
Yeah,
we're still doing pretty good here.
Yeah,
for
season 2
reviews.
will be coming next year, right?
Yeah. So Marcus,
Brian.
we had last Monday the very first episode of WWE Monday Night Raw
We did.
on Netflix.
The first time off of regular TV
I was lucky enough that I didn't have a meeting that night.
that
and
I got to go. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was so pumped that I got to
My
watch
brother
it
got
live.
tickets from Amazon. They flew me to LA
I got to watch it live.
last minute.
Yeah.
I would have invited you, but I couldn't. It was a special delivery he had to make, and he let me come.
Oh my God, will you stop? Anyway.
And I'm wearing my shirt.
And
I was there.
and I got a tattoo on my chest of Netflix.
Got a Raw tattoo on my chest.
So it wasn't.
I only do it Raw.
It did feel very much like a PLE event because this Monday
Yes,
felt
there's
more.
only 4 matches on the whole show.
This Monday
It was 3
felt-
hours long.
This Monday night felt like a normal
Regular Raw
Raw
yeah,
episode.
Yeah, exactly.
With some great moments.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I get to watch these live for January, which is fantastic.
yeah.
But it was so nice to watch a full episode.
We actually get to watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're going to get to watch them for the duration
Yeah.
if you pay the bill.
Well, and of course.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I have
You said like,
Netflix.
oh, I get to watch it for
You-
January.
Brian,
It was like,
yeah,
oh,
you
Oh,
said-
no, I get to
you
watch
said
it
for the month
live
of
for
January.
January because I don't have meetings on Monday.
oh,
I
gotcha,
apologize.
Gotcha. Okay.
This whole month I don't have
It's like we all
one
get to watch
meeting.
it live, technically. It's
Yeah.
not like live, but
And the great thing is we all learned that if you watch it later, no commercials, and it goes
not
down
as regular, not the
it's
regular
not a
commercials.
full 3
Yes,
hours.
Yes, 2.5 hours.
2.5
But even
hours.
if you watch it live, it's still 2.5, and the commercials are 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're like annoying commercials
That
either.
doesn't make any sense, Josh.
What?
There's no way it's exactly 2.5 hours, even
Ended at
with the
10:30.
commercials in it.
Ended at 10:30.
It ended at 10:30 last
Ended
night?
at 10:30.
Oh, he was watching it live. So
yeah, I was
that makes
watching it live
sense.
and ended at 10:30.
I don't think it was a full 3 hours.
It was not a full 3 hours. It
Yeah,
ended
no,
at
but
10:30.
even when I watched it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't have like the full-on commercial breaks in the middle of it,
No,
though.
I didn't have any commercials.
We
I
had like
had-
commercial breaks, but they weren't like the full
do you,
3-minute
do you
commercial
think
breaks.
you might have, because you started late, it just truncated the commercials?
No, all the commercials that you saw were the ones for like WWE stuff,
Yeah.
like their promotional ones. Not
Josh,
like
you know
anything
what
that
it
was
did?
inserted.
Most of my commercials were promos and then like cricket.
Didn't see
Yeah,
one
no,
cricket ad.
See one outside WWE.
It was 3-minute ads.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see any of
We didn't
those.
get those. They're like maybe like 30 seconds, and then they went to the next thing.
Also, in the middle of the match, it would cut to black and come right back.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see, there was nothing.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
weird.
It was
'cause, like,
great.
So I think what they
Watching it
did
live,
is
it
it's
was
still the same
fine.
time, but the stuff that you were getting cut out and they would go to commercial break for is put back into the replay. Like, because they still wrestle during the breaks.
Yes.
They don't just stop
No, but
like they did during COVID times when there was no actual audience there.
Wow.
They would actually just stop and just stand around waiting, and then they'd come back.
Well, that's
There's actually a
different.
leaked video of that. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what they did is instead of, because it's still the 2.5 hours, but you get like the full matches. You don't get like the break and then they cut away and come back.
Yeah.
Because I was like watching, I think it was the Sami Zayn match
Yep.
versus the Miz.
Yep.
It like went to black for a second, and then they're like, and we're back. And I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean you're back?
Yeah.
You didn't go anywhere.
All the matches were
Yeah.
it was great. I was like, but still, Josh, even though I was an hour behind, I ended at by 11.
Yeah.
I was over by 11ish, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Hmm.
But I didn't see any commercials.
Yeah, I started
so-
mine at like 11 o'clock. And
Oh
was done
my
like
God.
1:30.
You are insane.
I sped through some of the matches because it's like I'm not gonna sit through all of them, but
Right.
some stuff it's like
Now the first showing, The Rock comes out when he's wearing his serial killer glasses.
yes,
He was wearing his what's his name?
Yes.
Who's that serial killer they made a show about? I can't think of his name.
Casey
Dexter?
or
The Netflix show.
oh
Ted
Bundy.
Bundy.
He's
Ted
got
Bundy.
his Ted Bundy glasses
yes,
on.
Yeah,
The Rock does his thing. John Cena does his thing.
His, Versace or whatever Dolce Gabbana shirt that
Yeah.
the arms cut off.
They did, so then
He didn't wear the same shirt on Tuesday to
NXT.
NXT.
Yeah. So then Hulk Hogan comes out, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not going to be good.
I know. I talked to Matt
Wow.
Ryan about this, and he was like, I don't know why people. I'm like, well, you don't bring out a guy who showed up at the Republican National Convention
not
in
But
California.
it
No,
wasn't, but
it
it
is
also
not
wasn't that.
Hold on.
It wasn't that.
It's not politics. Hulk Hogan came out, and yes, you're absolutely right, but I disagree here because The Undertaker came out and got a huge applause. And
Yeah, but
now
it's the Undertaker. He didn't go to the National Convention and
he is
do a speech, though.
He is a big Trumper.
Yes,
and
but he didn't
he's-
do a speech at the National Convention.
It's
No,
because
but
Hulk Hogan is a known racist.
I
That's
think-
what it comes down
I
to.
think the main thing that was one of the things was him being there.
yeah.
But was it Undertaker and Kane did a thing with Trump?
Yes.
They did a whole like.
Yeah, but Undertaker came out during Rhea
No, I
Ripley's
know,
thing, so it's
but-
a little different.
But the main problem that people had with
He didn't speak.
Hogan was all the racist stuff and like the documentaries coming out
Yeah,
about how he buried this guy,
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
screwed over this guy.
Well,
for
yeah,
money.
everyone knows
Nobody
he's a
likes
terrible
Hulk
guy.
Hogan anymore.
So
Hulk
like,
Hogan's time is like gone and past.
And
because like
he-
O'Shea Jackson even went on a radio show and or his podcast was like, oh yeah, it was me and a bunch of the guys. As soon as his music played, went, oh wait, no, we don't like him. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
everybody
Joshua,
booed.
why?
And it was
Well,
kind of.
sorry, but
Jeez.
I was not expecting it, but
Self-edit yourself, man.
I was not expecting all the booing at first. But then I'm like, when I was reading more, a lot of people are like, listen, this wasn't political because
Yeah.
The Undertaker came out and everybody went crazy.
But yeah, but it's the Undertaker. He doesn't talk.
Yes.
This is why it's not political. Because
No, I'm just saying,
Undertaker
but,
is
like-
the Hulk Hogan is just a known racist.
All
at
he did
this
is rode
point.
around his motorcycle, raise his arm up in the air, and leaves.
And
He doesn't
people
do
loved
anything.
it.
Yeah, because he doesn't do anything.
But Hulk Hogan also the beer. People are like, "What is he?"
It's his new beer,
Nobody wants
All
it.
American beer.
See, it's a-
which
and his skin.
I do feel sorry for WWE because they had already purchased part of it,
Yeah,
and so they had to have a press release the next day going, "Hey, we're part of American beer."
Yeah.
God.
You know,
Yay.
the Bills beer's logos on their mats, so
Yeah.
they gotta like.
And his skin.
Well, he's like
he looked like a
80
boiled
years
turkey.
old. He's
I
like
know.
70, 80 years old. He
Oh,
lives in
God.
Florida. What do you expect?
God, he looks so
Probably
horrible.
tans every day.
The only thing is, I'm kind of worried that they're going to bring him back out for a Saturday main event because they keep
They're going
using him in
to.
promos.
They're using him in the promos,
He's
and
in the promos. The new
and
one.
did you
Like I
notice?
said,
the
like I told
start of
Matt
this
Ryan,
show?
if you had brought him out anywhere else, you would not have got that same reaction.
I think he
No,
would.
I think-
It probably
no.
wouldn't have been
I
as
think
bad.
if you brought if the first Raw took place in Texas, no booze whatsoever for
don't-
Hulk Hogan.
I don't think you're. The temperature in the room is nobody likes Hulk Hogan.
No, temperature in the room in California is nobody likes Hulk Hogan.
No,
I don't
going
think
on-
so.
If you've been on the WWE Reddit, because I wanted to check it out,
Yes,
they
but
have-
remember,
it is a good.
keyboard warriors are different than.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying that.
Yes, but the temperature, what Josh is saying, and that's exactly what I saw
Oh, I'm
afterwards.
not saying there isn't.
I didn't read
there isn't-
one person saying they liked him.
I know, but there's also the
no
thing
one
of
was
once
happy.
one person starts jumping on something, everyone else will jump on that same bandwagon. Not saying it's a wrong assumption or a wrong thought process.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if, and I said this to Matt Ryan because he asked me if what I thought about that, and I said yes. I think if Raw debuted in a southern state or even in Florida, you'd not have had the amount of booze as you did.
Oh no, I'm agreeing.
Bringing him out in
I'm agreeing with
California.
you on that. It wouldn't have been as bad.
You wouldn't
He
have
still
noticed
would've
it.
got booed.
You would have got booed, but it wouldn't have been. You would still hear people cheering more than you hear people
Right.
booing.
People were flipping him off. I mean, there
Yes,
was.
because it's California.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's part of it. But there's a lot of people who just don't like him anymore.
But even
Well, I
going
understand that.
into,
I'm saying, but I think it's
even
just
going
it
into
was
before that though.
it was a bad choice
Yeah.
to bring him out at that event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because recently there's been recent like wrestling docs that have come out.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
About
like you could have
people,
brought out like next
Even just the Mick Foley stuff.
The next worst thing would have been to bring out Ric Flair right afterwards, because then they could just have been booing at both of them because they're both terrible
What if
people.
I almost called it Rick Flag. Ric Flair came out and he did the twirly.
Yeah,
With his weenus.
exactly. So it's
his
like
weenus. Anyway, that was an interesting part of the night.
What it boils down to, I mean, not for nothing, Jesse Ventura, it's not much better. I mean,
Yeah, he didn't get much of a boo.
yeah, but I mean, he's
People
not
like
much
him.
better of a person to roll out to celebrate, your history.
I much rather
well,
listen to Jesse
WWE needs
Ventura
to-
The
than
other
Hulk
problem
Hogan.
is
What the WWE needs to
WWE
do is come to
history
terms
has
with
a
their
lot of bad history.
80s history
Yeah.
is not the best. The people that were involved in the 80s wrestling,
Yeah.
They were
Probably
either
should just be left in the
racist
80s.
or they were either
just move
racist,
on.
I
doing
know.
drugs, or sleeping around.
yeah, I
or
mean,
beating
especially
women.
also the fact that they're all like in their 70s at this
Yeah.
point.
Right.
Nobody in their in
Hey.
the demographic that they're trying to get to wants to see a 70-year-old guy rolled out there to
You know what
do
though?
anything.
When I at Christmas time, like my grandfather, it was like he liked like Coco Beware. People were like,
Oh,
"That was awesome to
But
see."
remember,
him.
it's your grandfather that was excited about that. Like,
Yeah.
I bet you any person younger than us
No, well, they don't know.
doesn't know who the hell Coco Beware is,
But like
or
we
why
said,
he matters.
Saturday main event's also on network television. Not a young
Yes.
people are not watching it.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah.
for the generation who grew up with
Yes.
this. This is
Yeah.
like member berries.
Yes.
This is what this
Exactly.
is.
That's
But-
for. It's different.
I think it's kind of cool to still celebrate the history of WWE. I think some wrestlers can be looked back with rose-colored glasses, right? You can look back and be like, I can forgive some of these things. I think Hulk Hogan people have a hard time because
There's been a lot.
He was in a reality show.
There's a lot.
Well,
A lot of stuff
that
came
was the
out
other
about
thing.
There's a lot.
him.
There's a lot.
There's
He
another
said a
thing-
lot of
yeah.
things that
That
were
was the other thing
good.
I was going to say is, like, a lot of people brought up, like, the last thing they remember seeing him do was going to try and bail his son out from reckless driving and showing up going, well, I'm Hulk Hogan, don't you know who I am?
Well-
it's like, yeah, that's going to get your son out of driving his car 900 miles an hour
Josh,
through Florida.
The biggest thing Hulk Hogan is known for a generation is not only wrestling, but the whole sex tape scandal
Yeah,
that
that
got
too.
I
Gawker
thought you were
closed
gonna say,
down.
yeah.
That was huge.
Thunder in Paradise.
And
I
then
thought you
he
were talking
dated
about
a girl who looked just like his daughter.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's even creepy.
Well, I mean, our president married a woman who the same
We're
age
not
as his
talking
daughter.
about that, but I'm
So, I
just
mean,
saying,
what's
we're
the
not talking
difference?
about
Saying,
that,
like,
but I'm
there's-
just saying.
There's a lot of things where you sit there and you go, oh, no wonder why people don't
I wonder why
like
they
this
were
person.
such buddies.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting part of the
Probably
night.
were on the same flight to the island too.
Probably. But the production value was awesome. It's actually nice to not watch
The
wrestling
video this
on
week
YouTube.
was much clearer than the last week's.
Yes.
For me, last week, both were very clear.
But I'm saying this week's was like impeccable. The lighting was way better.
It would probably be a
I
stadium.
think
thing.
I think
was
that had
the building.
I think
The
that more to do with
building,
the room
yeah.
and like them not
The
used
Intuit
to the
Dome is
room.
neat and all, and it's got a lot of like cool bells and whistles, like
The
the LED
lights.
things and the seats
and they got the
everything. and-
drone flying around.
well, that's a new thing they're doing all around. But I'm saying,
I
but-
love the drone getting some of those champion shot like
Yeah.
victory shots.
Yeah.
Instead of having the guy like with the camera underneath him,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
literally just had the drone.
Yeah, but then like doing the thing with the drone coming in from outside into the building
Yeah,
and
that's
around
cool.
the
Yeah.
inside the building, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like that's, but I'm saying, but it's like definitely the video quality difference in the two buildings was very noticeable. This,
Now, I've
this
been
week.
watching wrestling on YouTube
or they adjusted
quality,
their lighting.
so like watching it on Netflix is like so nice.
Oh, I know. For you, it's like you think
oh
everything's
God, it's-
clear.
it's
But
like-
I mean,
it's
if
beautiful.
if you watch the two, like even just in TV wise, if you watch the two, you definitely tell the lighting. They adjusted their lighting from last week to this week. Like they either moved things around a little bit, or the way that it was rigged was different. Because stuff was more well lit this week than it was last week.
Yeah, but like we said, it's a venue thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do what they
Well,
can
yeah,
with the
but I'm
venue.
saying, but also just the size and the heights and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, overall,
And then
great
we got
production.
Penta this week. We got Penta this week.
Yeah, Penta. Oh my God, I saw his family. I'm like, why is that girl
Yes.
crying? Now,
It's his
he's
daughter.
from.
As soon as she popped up, I knew who it was. Like,
It's
I
his
was
daughter.
like, I know
As
who
I
that
said
is.
to Claire, I'm like, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like, why would this random kid be bawling her eyes out
Right.
watching Penta?
He did pretty good for his first time.
Dude.
Serio muerto.
Also, then we come to find out the Wyatt Six is now in SmackDown.
Yes, that was a random drop of
Did
information.
you hear? I'm like,
It's just
what?
Just like, oh, well, that feud's over with. They went to SmackDown.
And I'm like, wait, so Final Testament is coming to Raw? Because wasn't Final Testament?
No, Final Testament was on Raw the whole time.
Oh,
Just no one
They were-
cares.
They
yeah,
used to be
Karen
on
Cross.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
They were, yeah. But then when the whole
Oh, the
draft happened,
The
they
draft
got-
happened, and then I'm like, oh, now we're stuck with Final Testament.
Yeah, it's like Raw lost that one. Raw lost that deal.
You know why? I mean, Wyatt Six needs to be on SmackDown because it gives SmackDown a little bit more.
I'd hope. Maybe they'll actually use them on SmackDown.
I'm so disappointed by that news.
Yes.
I was like, what?
It's like we ended up with the American Made and Final Testament, and SmackDown won that grab.
They did. Yeah, because American Made was on SmackDown.
No,
they were on Raw.
They were Raw.
Yeah, the two factions that the Riot Six beat up got to stay, and the team that won got to move to SmackDown. For
You know
some
what
reason.
it is? I've been watching these on YouTube for so long that I kind of forget sometimes
Who's on which brand.
because I'm
Yeah.
watching it on YouTube. Now
Yes.
I have more.
I think they also hinted last night. I don't know if you caught it, but I think Bailey's moving to Raw.
She was there because that's where she's.
No,
that's
but
her
when they did the
hometown.
end of that segment, when Rhea's like holding the belt up and she's a little bit behind her, she's kind of like eyeballing the belt a little bit.
Well,
So
they
I think-
hugged and they.
I know, but after that, if you watch it,
I didn't see that.
Bailey was kind of like side eyeing her, like, oh, I kind of like that belt.
Well, Nia Jax. She's
Yeah,
on,
hopefully Nia doesn't come over. Well, Nia could be sent to Japan or something.
She
and that'd
just
be
came
fun.
out and basically said, "I talked to Pierce
The
about
transfer portal.
Yeah. Everyone's
coming
talking
over."
about moving around and stuff.
I feel like Nia's gonna.
Yeah.
We've already seen Nia and Rhea fight at last year's Royal Rumble for the
Yes.
belt,
Yeah.
and that's where Rhea
Yeah.
won it. So I don't
Yeah.
think why are we going to do that again?
I don't know.
But maybe it's just Nia Jax is
Yeah.
over here causing trouble.
What I was trying to figure, I don't know if I missed it in the last week's. What did Dominic do that made? Liv so
at
mad?
the end of the fight between Liv and Rhea,
Oh,
he
he
went
tried
into
to-
the ring and tried to like.
make amends.
Oh,
with
make
the
amends.
amends.
He kicked him in the
That's
nuts.
what it
And
was.
he
Okay, I
kicked
do
him
remember
in
that
the
now.
balls.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that now. I was
He
like,
comes over.
like, why is
He,
she like?
he came out
why
like
is he
full,
comes
like?
over like
full,
this.
full hey.
Yeah.
And then she just looks up. She's
Full
like,
balls.
he comes closer, right in the
That's right. I
full
remember that now.
balls.
I'm like watching it last night. I'm like, why is he like apologizing? to Liv
Because
for it? Like, what did he-
Pat even goes, ooh, that was a good kick.
Yeah, right in
Yeah.
the dirty doms.
right in the dirty times. I love when they were. Damien was hitting Finn with the garbage can last night.
Yeah.
And Pat's like, oh, he's hitting him with a Dominic.
It was
'Cause
nice
he's
to
trash.
see Finn lose finally.
Yeah.
But Mark,
This is gonna continue.
no,
It's not the end.
Hold on. I'm going to give context to all the listeners, especially our people who listen don't know what we're talking about. We played Dungeons and Dragons. Obviously, we talk about it a lot.
Yes.
And one of our friends always says, "I'm going to give him the coup de grace."
Yes.
And then one time he kept saying that, and then Mark, he's like Finn Balor, and he go with those white Nikes on,
Yeah.
and it cracks me up now when Finn does the coup de grace. I'm thinking of our buddy
Coup de grace.
wearing white Nike, his dragonborn with white Nikes on, coup de grace.
Every time it happens, I think it in my head. I just hear it in my head. I see his character in my head
Yes.
doing it, like jumping off a top rope.
When he was doing that last
Let me
night,
give him the coup de grace.
if someone was looking at me, it was a fly on the wall, I'd be like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm giggling, going, "Oh, schoolgirl." I'm like, "It's
Runs the dragonborn running up a fence post and just goes,
Yeah.
coup de grace, coup de grace." And it's funny because he can't just do one; he's got to do it over and
Yes,
over.
he does. Yes.
Except last night, I think it was only one.
Yeah.
he got one in.
Yeah.
but
But it's not the end of
anyway.
that. I'm assuming they're leading towards
Oh yeah,
Demon
battle royal
Finn.
type thing.
We're leading towards Saturday main event. They've already gotten some
Yes.
matches ready for that, and the Royal Rumble. We're leading
Yeah.
towards that. We have
And last
two
night
big
they
events
gave
coming
the
up.
Intercontinental Championship to probably the least interesting person on the roster.
Let's talk about that. I'm happy she won it, but I know
I'm not.
I have a. I know because you like what's
Dakota
her?
Kai.
Dakota Kai. I like Lyra. I wanted her to win, but
I didn't.
This is why.
She has no personality whatsoever.
This is exactly.
She's like a cardboard cutout
I.
of a wrestler.
She is. She has potential, but she hasn't had a pop yet, and I feel like if
She
they,
even had the belt when she was in NXT and she had the belt. She had like no charisma.
I think if they give her the belt,
It's like putting a belt in a paper bag and just handing it to somebody.
I think if they give her the belt,
like-
it can allow her to either pop and prove herself. And if it doesn't happen, I think Dakota Kai or someone else will get it.
That's the thing. It's like it.
You know, I felt the
They
same
did
way.
such a good job with the U.S. Championship, putting it on Chelsea,
Yeah.
because she's like the up and coming, even though she's older.
Dude,
she's like the rising
She's got a hot
star,
streak right now.
the rising star in
And-
that thing.
Tiffany Stratton.
On the Raw side, it was kind of like, I don't want to say a fart in church, but it was like a fart in church. It was like, all right. It
You
was
know-
like cool.
I like
It's
her.
like-
I think she.
I like her, but she's just
I
like
think she could do better, but I think
she's as ho hum as they come.
when she got it, it wasn't a great reaction audience-wise.
No, the crowd was like, "Oh, okay."
I know. I think she needs.
I mean, if Dakota Kai had won it, there'd be a better reaction.
Yes, I agree with you.
And she actually could like go with somewhere with the belt.
But do you think it's because Dakota Kai's already like she's part of control, damage control.
Yes.
She's already done stuff, so they're giving it to the new person.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It's just like Lyra Valkyria, like you said, she's technically
she needs a pop. She needs a pop.
She's a technical mastermind. She's very well suited.
It was a good match.
She does awesome in the ring.
Yeah.
Her matches are great. But as soon as the match ends and you hand her a microphone, it's lost in space. She's just has no, like, even when she was in NXT, they tried pairing her with Becky to kind of like give her a rub from Becky being from Ireland, and like tried to like get Becky to bring something out of her, and it was just nothing. Like, she has no charisma whatsoever.
I don't disagree with you on that.
She's just ho hum. She just is just like, she reminds me of like, not in the other stuff and stuff like that, but very much in the Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, like technically sound, technically amazing,
Good wrestlers,
but
nothing else.
have no personality whatsoever.
Right. I agree with you because I like
Those
her
are not
gimmick.
great examples, but
I
that's
like
like the only
her-
person I could think of at the
I
moment.
like her gimmick. I like the crow.
Yeah, that stuff's
Raven.
neat and all,
I
but
like
it's
that,
like,
but she does
it
need.
doesn't really do anything.
She
It doesn't-
does need a pop. She does need
She doesn't
need
have like
something.
a gimmick. She doesn't have like,
Right.
she's just
I agree.
a girl from Ireland who wears bird outfits.
I'll say this. I'll give her credit where credit's due though. The little package they played before the match, I thought was more personality in that little package than I've seen.
Yeah, but
this
even when like
entire
they pair her
thing.
with the party girls, it just looks like she's like the nerd that
No.
was thrown out with that's like hanging out with the party girls.
Right. No, but the little package they did
Yeah.
with her,
I'm not- yeah,
I'm
it's
coming
just-
for the belt.
Yeah, but
That
it was
was
just
decent.
But it's like,
But it wasn't the best.
it's great. But it's her just being like, yeah, I'm coming for the belt. I'm gonna like win it.
She's very early Nikki Cross.
Yes, that's also a thing. But Nikki Cross, if you notice,
Right.
they've had her stop talking.
Right.
Like the past like 6 years, it feels like, and now she's just like a spooky character. But I mean,
right.
that's cool and all, but you need something.
I
There needs
know,
to be
I know.
something else there. You can't just live off that for your whole career.
Yeah. No, you know what? As much as I like her and I was happy she won the belt, I feel like this is her opportunity to shine. And if she doesn't,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
just
how
that-
long she's gonna last.
That's the thing of, I mean, she'll last. She'll like be around. Like,
But
she'll
she's
be
not
like
memorable.
She'll be like that person that's always involved in the like in the championship, and be like the technical mastermind you have to get by to like get somewhere.
Right. She might be better with a tag team.
I don't know what she would. She
Well,
needs to be in
wasn't
something.
She was in the tag team in NXT, wasn't she? Wasn't
Yeah,
she?
I'm not talking
champion?
about
No,
now,
like they had
but-
like the combined things they would do back in the day. But I mean, it's just I've like she's like I said, she's great. And during her matches, I love watching her matches. She's a
Yeah, she's
wizard in
very
the
good.
ring.
She's very good.
But besides that,
You need
that's it.
personality.
It's just that's as
You
far
need
as it goes.
personality. Yeah. You could see the personalities, and you could see the okay personality. And
She's a character.
She's
She's
still learning.
a
I guess.
character that, honestly, right now she's a face, so to speak. I think might work better as a bad person, like as a heel.
The thing is, though, she needs to be more outgoing. You know,
No, that might bring it out of her. I'm saying, like,
to be someone different.
yeah, like not for
maybe.
nothing. Like The Rock didn't become The Rock until he turned heel. Before that, he was just that bland guy. Like, he had all the skills and all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, when he was
But-
Maivia?
Couldn't talk himself out of a paper bag.
Yeah. Or even Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns still really can't talk.
Well, he doesn't.
That's
He
why he
just-
has the
he
last
just-
man.
He's all
raises
face.
his face,
He's all
his finger in the
faces,
air, and
faces.
Paul Heyman talks for him.
He does all the face
He
movements.
just like calls Paul Heyman and sends him messages to tell people.
Do you notice he's a master of face motions?
Yes, he's a face actor.
My favorite video to watch is with him and John Cena, and then when Roman Reigns forgot his lines, and
Yeah.
and then John
Cena
Cena
just
called him
railed into him
out.
on it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like, "You want to go to?" He's like, I'm breaking the fourth wall, but if you want to learn how to do this, you got to remember your lines, buddy."
Yeah,
and I was like,
exactly.
"Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
Yeah, yeah. He's
like,
very
wow.
much that kind of character.
But
He
Roman
doesn't-
Reigns got to this
He's
point.
gotten a little better. He's
I mean, now
gradually
people
gotten
love
better.
him.
I mean,
He's huge.
people still like him, but I mean, he's not like I wouldn't put him in a debate competition with anybody. But
No.
yeah,
But he knows what his character
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
His character, people love that stoic,
Yes.
quiet guy.
yes,
Maybe she could go in that direction.
yes. Like she definitely needs somebody that could talk for her. Like a manager
Right.
would do her wonders.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe a tag
Yeah.
team.
Even just a manager. Like if there was like a
Well, what's her name is kind of
Be-
Chelsea
Injured-
Green's manager
Becky
now.
comes
like
back as her
Piper,
manager.
like
Piper.
that. Yeah. But she's the quiet one, and
Yeah.
Chelsea's a talker.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So that's helped Piper's character
Yep.
to improve
Yeah.
because she also had issues with personality. Like she came in as Dewdrop. Like I mean, she made that work. But I even think it's like that's she needs something. Hopefully,
Shinsuke, look at shit. He barely talks.
yes, but it's because of the language barrier.
But
No, I know,
uses,
but I mean, he's
Like
Shinsuke
kind of
uses-
quiet.
Asuka
But
or Io
Shinsuke
Sky.
uses the language barrier to his advantage.
Right.
He does
right.
now.
Because he's
Yes,
bet-
they finally got smart
now-
about it,
now
and
that
they're
they let him
using it
speak
to
in
his
his own
advantage.
language.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Asuka and Io Sky and Kari Zane have Dakota Kai to be that
Yeah.
talker.
Right. Well, I feel like she has room for improvement. I think giving her the belt, was it a good idea? We won't know until we see her defend it. Right?
I think it was of the options you had. I mean, Dakota Kai is a great option. Because I just like Dakota Kai, and I think she hasn't won a single belt.
That's what I was wondering. But
Since she's
won-
been in the company.
She's
She hasn't won
been a
anything.
tag team belt
No.
holder.
No.
No?
Yes.
Yeah, she's
No,
won
yeah,
a tag team. We never won a singles.
I thought she has
championship.
some.
Damage Control has had the
No,
belt.
yeah, Damage Control had the belt, but I don't think she was one of the members when they she wasn't a person that was technically the
Oh,
champion.
because she was out for a while.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I don't think she's. I mean, I know she had in NXT. She had a tag team with Raquel. They were a tag team for a while, but I just think it would have benefited Dakota's character more than it's going to benefit Lyra's character.
But do you
at
think
the time.
now that she won the belt, now they can have a beef between the two, just like
I don't think they'll because they're not. They're both faces.
just like
technically.
Chelsea Green and
No, they're both faces. They hugged at the end of the
Michin?
match and everything. It's gonna be, they'll be fine. I just think that's the thing of like, you don't have like, where's this gonna go now? Like, who's gonna go after her for the belt? Like,
Right.
who's that?
This is
like,
why I
person.
think they're trying to make her pop. They
Yeah.
probably know she needs to have a pop
Yeah.
because the reception of her winning wasn't that fantastic. It was kind of ho hum.
It's supposed to be like the mid card belt, so it's not like
Yes.
it's like
I know.
gonna be, you know.
But you look when
Becky
Tiffany,
Lynch or anyone
when
like that's
Tiffany
gonna
Stratton
appear.
won, the place went bananas.
Well, that was
People
the
love her.
championship.
I
It's
know.
different.
But
When
s-
Chelsea won the U.S. championship, the place went bananas.
Yes, yeah. When people,
It's because she has a personality.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
She
So,
took a character that was a Karen character and somehow translated it into a very popular character somehow.
She is. I like Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah, people love the
Dakota-
fact that she's annoying.
Dakota
Yes,
Kai
it's a lot of
is
fun.
a two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion with Raquel Rodriguez. She was also the inaugural NXT Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
And then she was 2 times with Io Sky.
Yes.
She was also Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Champion
Yes.
with Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes. Yeah. But
No
like her
singles.
character in NXT when she turned heel on Tegan Nox and when she turned heel and when her and Raquel went at it is probably some of the best stuff I've seen in a while. Like she's like her character, like there's some people who are better at just playing villains and some people are just better at playing faces. And that whole Damage Control group is way better as a heel faction than it is as a face faction. As a face faction, they're just there. As a heel faction, they're like probably the most dominant thing. But you have that PFC that they have to deal with. So
Right. And I mean, you look at
the
like,
old Pure Fusion Collective.
where they've just disappeared. I don't.
Oh, no one's complaining.
I never. Well,
Maybe they'll get traded to SmackDown.
oh God, please. They're the worst. Not my favorite. But even like Testament, whatchamacallit,
Karen Cross.
that group, I didn't really care for them until they were in the beef with Wyatt Six.
I still don't care for him.
But they became a little bit more interesting when they got the Miz involved.
It's
The
even
problem
more
is,
less
the problem with them is carrying Cross is okay. It's authors a pain that
No, the problem
push
with
them so
them
much.
is
Final Testament.
Karrion Kross's character, if it's done correctly, and when he was in Lucha Underground, his character as the White Rabbit was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's character of the Fiend and all that is
Loosely.
probably saying something here that people are going to blast me online about. It's kind of sort of stolen from that. It's kind of like there's the psycho split personality character is somewhat loosely tied to that character.
Well,
and
all ideas are borrowed
Karrion
from someone.
Kross's character when he first came in as the TikTok guy, if they had let him be himself and let him be his character that he is, like he can be, and he has been in other brands, that would be like if they turn him into that now, that the White Six is over on SmackDown and have him be like the psycho demented guy on Raw, then I think you'd be okay.
Yep. Me personally, I was more invested in them with the White Six and the whole Mist stuff.
Like
than
before
I
that,
ever
with his
have.
like weird
Before that, I
manipulation
didn't
thing and
care.
manipulating like the New Day. And
yes, yeah. I didn't care about
and
that.
all that. It was just like no one really like why.
Yeah. Well, I try to find little kernels of something I can latch on to,
Yeah.
even if it's, but I can, like, well, at least this is better than what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like even now the New Day are heels. I don't know. I don't like the New Day as bad guys.
Yeah.
Everybody hates them, and
It's just like I said, there's certain people who can be heels and there's certain people who can be faces.
they're better at faces.
And they're just not like, I know it's something they wanted to do, like they wanted to
Yeah, obviously.
be different, and they were villains when they first started.
Well,
It's
especially
just- they're just
Xavier. Xavier was what was his original character was.
No, Xavier Woods' character was like he was like a demented
Was he a
like,
demented preacher or something like that?
preacher cult leader. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. Like they were coming in as like he had recruited Kofi and Big E to like join his like New Day religion.
Interesting.
And that was what they were supposed to be, was like a weird cult,
but then
like
they
revivalist cult guys.
They became like pop culture.
And then it just
kinda.
became like pop culture because people just like they liked their shtick and they were just thought it was funny and they just started laughing at him.
I have a hard time buying Xavier Woods as a bad guy.
I
have a really hard time.
It's just he's not.
It doesn't work for me.
I don't want to say viable. It's just it's just not a viable threat.
I mean,
Not
I
like,
get. Yeah, right. I
like
get
I'm
it.
not like oh no, Xavier Woods.
He's mad at me.
He's mad at me.
Oh.
He's 4
He's gonna
foot 10.
up down me.
He's 5'2". Oh no.
Right.
He's gonna up down me and then
And the
left,
beanpole
right.
Kofi Kingston's gonna come after me.
And they haven't really fought
No.
yet.
No.
Really?
They come
No, the
back
first
Monday.
in-ring will be next.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
Next
just
Monday
do a
will be
lot
the
of
first
talking
one.
right
Yeah,
now.
Monday's their first like time back
In action.
as
But-
bad guys.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Still not sold.
Yeah.
Still not sold.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Brian, hey Brian,
Yeah.
What?
have you used any of the discount codes for new merchandise?
I
Josh did.
not buying any merchandise
You see
right now.
Josh's new hat
I
he
saw.
got.
I love the hat.
He got
buddy.
it during the.
I literally
he was
got
very
that last
adamant about
Monday.
telling me he got it on the first night of Raw on Netflix. He bought it.
Nice.
It was only $20.
That $20. That's how much a hat should cost.
Yeah,
I love
That's
it.
how much hats should cost. Period.
Yes.
They
all
shouldn't
ha-
cost more than that, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I
Unless it's
did-
made of gold or something. It
I
shouldn't
did
have anything.
also buy a exclusive pop.
cool.
An exclusive pop.
Yes,
They still make those.
the pop figures.
You're talking about pops are everywhere. They make. Someone makes a movie. They have a pop out the next day.
I'm surprised we don't have pops at this point.
We should get our
You
own
can
pops.
you
Put
can
'em on the
make
table.
your
We
own.
We can make our own.
Put them on the table.
Yeah, you can make your own pop figures.
I don't need a pop figure.
We're doing it, Josh.
You guys can do it. I'm not chipping in on it. That's all.
Jeez. First, I like how you say the idea. Then you're no, I don't
I
want
didn't say the idea. I
You
said
did.
everyone has a pop at this
You
point.
said we should have pops, and then I said yeah, and you're like no, never mind.
I said I'm surprised we don't have pops at this point
Why don't we?
because it's dumb.
Oh my God, Mark, you're such a heel.
Some people are good at heels. People are good at faces.
Watch it. He might mark out on you.
Yeah.
All right, we should wrap up the show.
You're just
But
joshing me.
we had a great time. I think Netflix and
Brian
WWE
doesn't
so
have
far has
anything
been
fun
really
listening.
great. The ratings were fantastic too. It was like the
That's
number.
what I heard. Yeah.
It was like the number 1 or number 2 thing watched. of
Well, I
that.
mean, how would you I mean, it's not like a big.
Well, no, but they
Netflix released the thing.
No, I know. I'm
it was
saying it's not like a big accomplishment. It's only a live thing on Netflix, so it's not
But,
like
like,
there's.
Well, that is.
They even said that they had thousands of people queuing, which is unusual for a lot of the stuff.
They
That
watched it live.
Yeah.
a lot of people like waited, like got on at like
Yeah.
7:30 and
Yeah.
waited the half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did wait 15 minutes.
Wow. Nerds.
Debut.
I'm assuming it's crazy because it's the whole globe. It's not like just America that's watching it now, but on the same time. It's like everyone's on the same time frame.
That is like the one thing, like
Yeah.
everyone can watch it at the same
Yeah.
time.
It pulled 4.9 million views globally
Wow.
live, which is really big
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah.
And that's a good start.
That's like WrestleMania numbers.
Yeah.
That's the thing now is it's like you're in a global audience, not just a
Yeah.
America audience, and then like seeing it tape delayed everywhere else kind of thing.
So, on average, Raw was bringing in 2024 1.2 million households.
Yeah.
So they basically tripled it going to Netflix.
Quadrupled even.
Even
Quintupled.
he said 0.6, so
Just joking.
yeah.
And it says is it by the beginning of October through December, Raw averaged 1.65 million viewers per week on USA.
Yeah. That was just
So-
in America.
Yeah.
That's not accounting for replays all over the world
Or
Yeah.
on Sky
We're
Network
just
or
going
whatever.
based on
Yeah.
that. Still.
or any other like yeah.
But, to
but-
get everybody watching at the same
Right.
time makes
Yeah.
it. But then you also don't have to like worry about who's seeing it when, and everyone has access to it now. You're not waiting on either a tape
Unless
delay
you're Brian
or
and you're like
but
turning
I'm
off
saying,
your
like,
Reddit and your Facebook so you don't get spoiled.
No, but you know what I mean, like because before this, Monday Night Raw was being shown at Tuesdays at whatever.
Well, they did have it live around the globe. It's just like some places it would be like 2:00 in the morning when it would be
Yeah.
live. Like it just you wouldn't watch it live
Yeah.
Right.
if it wasn't conducive for you.
But anyway,
Still the same way.
it's
just
still really good for them. And there's a lot of shows like, I'm in the middle of season 1 of Umbrella Academy. I'm still loving it. I just haven't had time. Like, I'm just watching one
yeah.
at a
As you get
time,
around to it,
and I still love the show. It was the episode where they meet on the road
yeah,
with the ice cream truck,
yeah,
and he freezes time.
yeah. It's a good one.
That was
remember
really
that
good.
one.
Yeah.
Speaking of ice cream trucks, you got the Peacock. You should watch the Heavy Metal
Heavy metal?
show
What's the heavy metal show?
from the video game.
Oh, we reviewed.
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, Twisted Metal. We
Twisted
reviewed.
Metal,
We
yeah, yeah.
reviewed that
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, Brian
did we?
watched that.
Yes,
Oh.
we watched
Yeah.
it together.
Because Samoa
Never mind.
Joe was in it. I
Season
remember.
2's coming out.
Yeah,
All right, we should wrap up. It's
We
1
should.
o'clock.
It
We've been
is.
here for a while.
we have
We'll be back next
an
week.
hour and
Gotta get home to watch
18
Skeleton
minutes
Crew.
as of right this second.
So Brian,
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew's final episode is tonight.
Yes.
Brian's never watched.
I
any
have
of
not
it.
Are you
watched
going
one
to?
episode. You guys can talk about it next week.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You said you were thinking about watching it. Would you?
I'm not
watch
going to
it?
have time to watch it now, but I
He
will.
still could. He should watch
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Is
You would
like,
like it.
I think you would. You might be. It might be good for you to find a time to watch it
Yeah,
before
Brian.
next Monday or
Listen
Tuesday.
to the producer.
No,
Find
because
time to watch it.
So we can talk about it next week?
So we can talk about it next week. He's giving you
that's what I mean.
homework.
Is that what he's saying?
He's giving you homework.
I'm asking you to watch it because of that.
so you can talk
Okay.
about it on the show.
All right.
He's producing.
Okay,
You
good,
wanted to be the producer.
good job. He's seducing me.
He's
to
seducing into doing it.
Yeah, I'm seduced.
You're seduced.
End the show.
Oh, thank you, Josh. Woo-wee. Oh, my Lord.
Oh my Lanza.
I'm getting the vapors.
I'm gonna go home right now. Watch me some Skeleton Crew.
Is it hot in here?
That was a sales pitch right there, Jeff. An ad for you get paid by Disney Plus all of a sudden that we don't know about. Got some side money on the side.
I wish I was getting
Mickey
paid by
Mouse has
Disney.
got his
Yeah, I
hands
know.
right up
Yeah, I
his
know.
keister.
They give
We're
so
gonna
much.
watch Skeleton Crew.
They give so much crap
everybody.
away to people on TikTok. I would love to get one of those Star Wars boxes.
Yeah, there you go. Way to put it out there.
TikTok. It's going to be gone January 17th.
I don't know. Going off because I guess some senator from Massachusetts is now fighting it. So we don't know.
Everyone's going to that other app, Redbox or something.
Blue Sky?
Blue Sky.
No. This is like a TikTok, another TikTok.
Lemon 8?
It's like Redbox.
Oh,
Lemon
wow.
8? What?
There's
Lemon
another app owned by the same company called Lemon 8 that I've heard of, but I haven't looked into it.
Oh.
Uh,
I just heard. I think
How do you know what Blue Sky is?
Blue Sky is different. That's a social media.
What's that?
Blue Sky
Blue
is like
Sky's
Twitter.
like TikTok and
It's like Twitter?
Yeah.
Is that the one that the
Because-
people from Twitter that got fired by Elon
no.
No,
Musk?
Blue Sky is
invented?
owned
Yes,
by
yes.
independent.
No.
No, that's a
Blue Sky
is the people that ran
the-
TikTok or
and
ran
the
Twitter
old
before
owner of
Elon Musk
TikTok.
bought it.
That's why it's called Blue Sky,
Yeah.
because it's Bluebird.
Yeah.
But now people are leaving Facebook and Instagram because
They got rid of their fact-checking apps.
they
Yeah. Oh, so Josh, I was wrong. Okay, Red Note is a TikTok-like app because everyone's going over there just in case TikTok is shut down on January 17th.
Red Note. All right.
Red Note is the new TikTok. If TikTok gets...
I can't keep track. I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm on Facebook, and that is
We're on
it.
Facebook, Instagram, so make sure you check
Hey,
those
yeah,
out.
so promoting. Promote
Yeah.
where we
Let's
are.
get out of here.
All right. So to wrap this up, as always, we ask you to please, and hope you enjoyed the show, and like and subscribe on our YouTube account,
Yes.
which isn't going anywhere in the foreseeable future.
No, we're staying.
But as always, we are on the Facebook, so you can go there.
Yes.
Are we on Instagram still?
I know. I don't do
Oh,
Instagram.
we don't do Instagram. We're too old.
I'm too old for this
We're
stuff.
not showing pictures of ourselves, so why would we care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave us a comment, hit
Write
the
us a
like
letter.
button, subscribe. That's it.
Write us a letter.
Write us a letter.
Send it to your...
We got a P.O.
Call
box.
your mom.
I'll make a P.O. box.
Oh my God, please don't. All right. So as always, be safe, be well, be kind.
Rewind, and good night, Bob.
Good night, Rocky. Happy birthday, Rocky.
Yeah.
And see you later, Howard.